When you love someone, would you want them to suffer or to be deprived of resources? Or would you want them to blossom and blossom to the best of themselves? I start this way simply because I want to look at something today that has been going on for years and has not been addressed, and I want to address it mathematically today. And that issue that I want to look at is economic marginalization in Jamaica. And I'm going to be looking at one simply figure as the basis to use for my calculation and establish my economic marginalization. What am I want to use? I'm going to use the minimum wage in Jamaica. As of April 1, 2022, is between 7,000 to 9,000 Jamaican dollars for most workers, excluding those who are security guard. And for security guard, it is from 9,700 to 10,500 weekly. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to look at the income as is described or prescribed by the government to look at what people income they get and do some simple calculations as to what it is, how these guys are surviving. So what I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to be looking at income in terms of from the lower end to the upper end. For all the workers excluding security guard, the lower end is 7,000, the upper end is 9,000. For security guard, the lower end is 9,700 and the upper end is 10,500. What does that mean? On a monthly basis, all workers excluding security guard will be given 28,000, and to the upper end, those same workers will be given 36,000. Security guards will be given a total of 38,800 at the lower end and 42,000 at the upper end. So I'm going to do some simple calculations for us just to look at some phenomena that I want to look at. So I'm saying let's take the lower end of all the workers, all right, excluding security guard. So they will be given a salary of our income of $28,000 a month. And I'm saying they're going to be paying a rent of 15,000 Jamaican dollars a month. Small apartment, and I'm going to make some assumptions after look at some things. So they are given an income of 28,000. They are spending $15,000 a month for rent. They are going to work. I'm assuming they are going to be going to work for 5 days of the week, and I'm saying lunch will cost them $7,000 a week for 4 weeks. That will be giving you $14,000. I'm putting their traveling or their bus fare to a minimum of $200 a day times the 20 days times the 4 weeks, and that will give me 4,000. So let's go now. So their expenses would be rent, lunch, and traveling. And at the lower end, if an individual is actually working in Jamaica, the low end, he or she would need $5,000 more to survive. Let's go again. At the lower end, an individual who gets a minimum wage would have gotten $28,000, and the person's expense using those normal minimal calculations would be $33,000. What would that assume? The person has no children, doesn't go anywhere, just go from work to home, and it's an expense for the person to be working. No, you can ask yourself a number of questions from there. At the upper end, these individuals will be given $36,000, and their expenses will be the same expenses: $15,000 for rent, $14,000 for lunch each month, and $4,000 for simply traveling. They would have a net of $3,000 extra to spend. That is for their children. Wow. For any entertainment, if they need to buy gas, and of course, gas is 3,000 something dollars. So they'll have to borrow to buy gas. All right, this is where they are. Let's take security guards now. If the individual is a security guard, he or she will be given a minimum of $38,800 with the same basic expenses: $15,000 for rent, $14,000 for travel, lunch, and $4,000 would have given the person a net of $4,200. That is what the person has for the month to look after children and any other expenses. And damn if the person becomes sick or the children become sick. Let me continue. At the upper end, security guards will receive $42,000. I'm using minimal expenses, rent of 10,000, lunch of 14,000, and traveling of 4,000. And the security guards at the upper end would have $9,000 left per month to use for medical expenses, etc. Now, when you look at these figures and you look at what a number of companies make in Jamaica, is that fair? But some person may argue life is not about fairness, like it's about the matter relating to cost or the people's marginal contribution or their marginal product, as though person the economy like to say. And that's fine. Where the MPP times P is equal to MRP, which is marginal revenue product, equal to what your contribution to the price. But I understand all of economics because I'm an econ student, so I understand all the economic jargon and what it means and all of that. But I'm saying let's us look at just mere living, and we are saying just to live as a normal person in Jamaica, if you're not a security guard, you would need to borrow $3,000 just to go to work, and that does not include your children. It doesn't include if they are sick. It doesn't include if you are ill. It doesn't include if you want to go anywhere, or damn if you were to lose your money if something were to happen, or something were to happen to your house, or if they were to increase your rent, or if you wanted to actually buy gas. That would have incurred a cost on you. So what are we saying here based on the figures? Just to survive at the minimum wage in Jamaica, person will be suffering. Have you thought about that? If an individual in Jamaica is given minimum wage, he or she is going to suffer. And that is going to be a structured suffering as imposed by the government of Jamaica to the very people that elect them to govern them. Now, does one understand why it is easier for some people not to go to work? There's no inducement to work. Because if we're going to be working and you cannot survive after you have worked, then what sense does it make to work? So the next alternative is to go and do criminal activities. And then the police force set upon these individuals to kill them. Or if people do not actually do that, and they try to eke out a living for themselves, the structure try to oppress them to go and accept what? Minimum wage. I want you to think for a second. I'm speaking to you. I'm looking you dead in the eyes, and I'm speaking to you. Is this economic marginalization? Is this a society that is structured to assist people? Look me in the eyes. Tell me, why should you pay an employee minimum wage? And if the employee is paid minimum wage, he or she is going to suffer just to attend your work. Or if the individual is given at the maximum of the pay scale, all he or she has is a maximum of $9,000 a month. That does not include the individual that has children, doesn't include the individual that's going to become sick. And of course, you are saying that person should not be entertained or have some form of entertainment or life outside of work. Is that a Jamaica that is productive and prosperous and fair? Look me in the eyes. Is this a Jamaica that is not structured to destroy the people? How can a government establish minimum wage, and at the minimum wage the person will be in the poverty line? Because an individual who is only getting $3,000 extra or $9,000 extra on it after expenses, minimal expenses, could not be considered to be prosperous and wanting to survive in a society. And that's what we're doing to our people of Jamaica. How do you feel? Is this a society that you think is going to be productive, is going to be cooperative, is going to be fair, or are we breeding criminals by a structured design? Those are my views. May I hear yours? Like, share, subscribe. See you next time. What a Jamaica.